Hey guys, this morning I posted a video about DoorDash and how she has inspired me recently. And as soon as I posted that video, all of a sudden I started getting a bunch of DoorDash related videos in my feed. I had no idea how many haters this lady has. And I just want to address a video that I saw, not not the video specifically, but just the spirit behind it. Um, I think it's something that we need to talk about because I see it all the time. Other creators criticizing and tearing apart fellow creators. I mean, it's not unlike what's going on in this world of people just tearing each other apart and bringing each other down. So I want to talk about that. I am just appalled at how some people don't have anything better to do with their time than to dig around in somebody else's background and expose them. Is that really what you want to be known for? Why can't you just be happy for someone? Why all the negativity? I don't understand that at all. One thing I have learned in life is that anytime God is trying to bless me, the enemy is going to come along and steal, kill, and destroy every single time. And you know why? Because the devil hates God's children. He hates us. He will do whatever he can to suppress us, to bring us down, to get us to curse God. That's what he wants. Sometimes he'll even use other Christians to do this. So if you are a Christian, you really need to stop and think about this too, because the devil will whisper in your ear sometimes. It's the spirit of jealousy, but you won't see it that way. Deep down, though, it is jealousy. You start thinking, why isn't my channel growing like that? And you start thinking there's something sinister going on. That is the enemy whispering in your ear, trying to get you to attack a fellow believer. Why would you do that? That's so disappointing to God. You may not even realize it as jealousy, but deep in your soul, you're thinking, why does she get all this success? Why hasn't that happened to me? And the second you let those thoughts into your mind, he's got you. The devil's got you. And he's going to use you to destroy someone else. You gave him a foothold, and now he's going to keep feeding more lies and more negativity into your mind. And then you're going to go around and spread that. He'll keep feeding you more and more negative thoughts until you are consumed with it. You cannot give him a foothold. You have to shut that down right away. Let me tell you, I know something about this because there have been many times in my life where God was blessing me and the enemy came down to shut it down right away. One time I had a catering company that I had started and it was doing really well. It was just starting to take off. This was in the early 2000s and no one was really doing this yet. But I would take orders for meals, for dinners for families, and I would batch create those meals and then deliver them to people either at their work at the end of the day or they could pick it up for me on their way home or whatever. This didn't really exist in the early 2000s. It was things like lasagna or stuffed chicken or whatever, something fresh and homemade that wasn't fast food and wasn't like the freezer meals that you pick up at the grocery store, because I knew that busy families don't have time to make homemade meals every night, especially when kids have activities once you've gotten off work and everything. And I just felt like there was a need for some home cooked meals to be delivered to households that had two working parents or whatever. Anyway, I went through all the proper channels, got licensed, got my business all set up, and just as it was starting to take off, the grandmother of my children turned me into the health department because her son had just lost his visitation rights to the kids because of something that he did. And so she wanted to mess me up. She wanted to hurt me on behalf of her son. So She and I used to work together actually, and she found out through some of my friends that were my customers that she worked with that I was doing this. So she turned me in, and then she tried to get other people there at this place of employment to make calls to the health department as well so that she could try to shut me down. And she told the health department that she heard I wasn't a legitimate business. And the health department came and inspected everything and told me the whole thing. And then my friends who were her coworkers, they came to me and told me that she was the one doing it, that she was going around asking other people to call in. Anyway, I had been battling them in court for like 3 years at that time, and I was just sick of it. So it just deflated me, and I did. I shut down. I gave in and I shut down. But as I've gotten older, that was more than 20 years ago. So I've gotten older and wiser, and I recognize that um, that's the devil. Just like the Bible says, our battle is not against flesh and blood. It's against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms and against the powers of this dark world. We have to recognize that the enemy is going to use anyone around us that he can. And you don't want to be one of those people that he's using for his purposes. Okay? So anyway, I started getting calls every day from the health department, and I just got tired of it because I had been battling them in court for so long, and I just wanted to put it behind me, and it was getting ridiculous. So I shut down that business. But you know who won in that situation? God did. So I just want to warn other people, don't start messing with someone that God is trying to bless. It is not your place. You will not win against God. So let me tell you about another instance. So first of all, I have done basically every type of direct sales or network marketing you can think of. It started with Home Interior, and then Avon and Mary Kay and Arbonne, Isogenics. I did Scentsy and Michi and Optavia, you name it, I've probably done it. So anyway, with one particular company, I had really been going at it hard, and I was really starting to build my business up. It was getting really successful. I had 20 people in my downline. I had reached directorship and everything. So at that time in my life, I had 6 kids living at home, and I liked to keep a lot of inventory on hand because my customers always they didn't want to have to wait, and I didn't want them to have to wait when they wanted a product. So I liked keeping a lot of inventory on hand. And it had taken over my front office, and but it was so packed in there that I couldn't find things when I needed to. So I decided to go rent some office space. And of course, I thought of this because of my experience with Home Interior and Mary Kay. The directors with those companies had offices offsite where we would have our monthly team meetings and things like that. So I decided to rent some office space so that I could have my monthly meetings there with my downline, and it would just be easier to keep my inventory organized. So I went out, found a discreet location. It was not like a storefront or anything like that. It was in an office complex. It was in the back of an office complex. And so I would have my team meet me there for meetings. If a customer wanted something, I would run up there to get it, or I would just have the customer meet me there if they wanted something like pretty quick or anything like that. Well, another consultant with this company found out, and she called the company and said that I was stealing business from her because she said that people were going to prefer to come to me because I had inventory and she didn't. Well, I had inventory before I got the office space. That was just the way I preferred to do business. And I also like to keep inventory for my downline. That way, if any of them needed something, they could just come get it. So anyway, The corporate office called me and told me that because I had a storefront, okay, storefront, and I tried to explain to them, I even sent them pictures and everything to show them, but it was too late. They took my downline away. So the money that I was making from my downline, that's what I was using to pay for the office space. And they took that away. And of course, I was in a lease there. So I wound up losing money on that whole deal, all because of somebody's jealousy. And this girl didn't even stay a consultant. She was only a consultant for a couple of months anyway. And so she set out to ruin my business. And she succeeded, but that's okay because God continued to bless me in other ways. So every time the enemy comes to attack, God just sets me up for even bigger success. So I just want to say that as a warning to other people out there. If you're thinking about trying to attack somebody, even if they aren't a Christian, you should not, especially in instances where it really doesn't impact you. Really take a deep look inside of yourself. And if you're not a Christian, if you have any type of morality at all, don't worry so much about what other people are doing. Who has time for that? I don't have time for that. I don't have, and I know I say that, but I'm here talking about it, but it's because it wouldn't, I don't get as bothered by people attacking me as I do when people are attacking others. I've always felt very like I need to stand up for other people. I believe in standing up for what I believe in. I believe for standing up for what I believe in. That makes a lot of sense. Anyway, that's just the way that I am. I cannot stand injustice. So speaking of injustice, though, let's also really quick, while I've got your attention, can we talk about this is a very, very important time in our lives, guys. So please make sure you do not sit out this election. We've got an election in a couple of days. If you have not voted yet, please make sure you do on Tuesday. If you're one of those people that says, well, I really don't ever vote because I don't know anything about the other people on the ballot, you can do your research. It's the weekend. Go do your research right now. It's really easy these days online. Your state should have a government website. Here in Oklahoma, it's ok.gov. Google it if you're in a different state, but you should be able to pull up your ballot online and look at it, and you can research the other people or the other issues that are on your ballot so that you go in there prepared. But more than anything, this is an important presidential race. If you have any morals whatsoever, this has got to be bothering you. Or if you have a pocketbook, this has got to be bothering you. So don't just go by what the mainstream media is telling you. Do your own research. And don't go off of those little clips that they take out of context. If they say that somebody said something, go watch the full interview and make your own conclusion. Don't go off of clips. They take those and twist it every time. For both parties, they do. So go watch the full interview and you'll start to see the truth. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now, but I just want to remind you guys to go the second mile today for someone in your life, okay? That's what this video is about. I am going the second mile because I want you to know that you need to stop messing with God's plan. That's why this world is so messed up. All the people that are letting the enemy influence them and whisper horrible things into their minds. Don't do that. Not that I'm innocent. I'm sure I've done it too, but I'm just saying, it hurts my heart to see people going after each other. So just let's be kind, okay? I love you guys. Go the second mile and go vote. Go vote on Tuesday, please. See you later. Thanks for watching.